and welcome back to Live and Breathe Horses. We're going on with our words of wisdom from Master Nuno Oliveira and this lovely book, Horses and Their Riders. Today we're on part 4 of chapter 2, which is about starting the young horse. Yes, Umo, you should be listening to this. So we've got our horse now, used to the school, learnt to lunge on both ways, trot and canter. Used to the whip, some side steps, we've introduced the snaffle, and then the roller, and then the saddle. So, we're going to start the next lesson by lunging the horse. You then take off the lunge rein, and the horse should go large, followed by the 3 people with the lunging whips. There should be a person at each end of the school and one in the middle. Thus, if the team works correctly, you can make the horse execute circles, go large, and change reins by altering the positions of the helpers. Be careful not to frighten the horse by a person being in the wrong place. When the horse does this exercise, changing the reins, etc., going forward calmly, put the lunge rein back on the cabeston. A helper can now start gently to take the reins of the snaffle for a few side steps. Obviously, the person holding the lunge rein must still control the horse and vibrate the lunge rein or patting if necessary. So this is another stage towards the transition to the rider. And the loose schooling, you know, so that when the rider's on, that the horse knows that and the people on the ground can direct the horse until he knows the aids. I mean, ideally having 3 people is great. If you've got a smaller space, you can do it on your own, but having 2, especially for making the changes of the reins, makes it so much easier. So, bring the horse to the centre of the school and again give the lesson of moving and banging on the saddle and rubbing him with the stirrups. The person holding the lunge rein should now be very attentive as the near side helper who's going to mount the horse should put his left foot in the stirrup. Repeat the movement several times, putting the foot in and out of the stirrup. Pat the horse and give him a titbit, and then lunge him again for a short while at trot and canter. So, you know, it's doing these new things depending how he reacts, and then having some space for him to move and process. Once again, you stop the horse in the middle of the school and attach a stirrup leather around his neck. The near side helper again puts his foot in the stirrup and puts his weight on it. He then lifts himself a little way off the ground, being careful not to stick his toe in the horse's side. Pat the horse if he's quiet, and the helper continues his movement until he seats himself lightly in the saddle. The person holding the lunge rein pats the horse. The offside helper passes behind the person holding the lunge rein and picks up the lunging whip. This should have been left on the ground on the near side of the horse. The rider should take hold of the stirrup leather with one hand and with the other hand pat the horse gently on his neck. If the horse is calm, the person holding the lunge rein should let it lengthen, and the helper behind the horse with the lunging whip should gently push him forward into trot. The rider must pat the horse on the neck and then behind the saddle on both sides. Continue to push the horse at the trot until you feel that he's relaxed and going forward easily. You then ask him to canter. The rider continues to pat the horse and the person lunging talks to him. Stop the horse, bring him to the centre of the school and repeat the same exercise on the other rein. Finish the lesson by the rider dismounting and mounting the horse 3 or 4 times on each side. So that's important, you know, to do it on both sides. Take the horse to the stable with the saddle and unsaddle him there and reward him with titbits. So we've got our rider on board now. And this is the way Miguel always did it as well, you know, that you got on and you just got the horse in movement I've had horses who have been so freaked out about getting on that I've actually delayed that stage and just got off and on and off and on and off and on for several, sometimes many lessons, until the horse is like, oh, okay, I can cope with that, and then move forward. But you know, with his skill and equestrian tact, the horse would have been totally prepared and ready for that by that time. So we're going to go on next time with the last part. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.